Bonjour French 1. This is your Chapter 6 video all about breakfast foods and drinks, as well as table setting words for things like fork and knife and glass and things like that. Keep in mind as you're writing things down that of course you only have to write the actual French words for these items on your note sheet. Those would be the ones that have the yellow background here on the far left hand side. Keep in mind that you are not required to fill in the green words here in parentheses. Those are the pronunciation and they are optional. Also, don't forget that any words that are tabbed over to the left-hand side of your page are masculine words, whereas phrases and words that are tabbed over to the right-hand side are feminine words and phrases. All right, let's go ahead and get started. And remember, to get the full experience, you'll need to repeat after me whenever I say these French words. So first things first, up here at the top, I don't want you to miss out. The word for breakfast is le petit déjeuner. And the way you say I'm hungry in French is j'ai faim. Kind of looks like the word famished if you've ever heard of that word in the English language. Alrighty, so if you want to explain to somebody what you're having for breakfast, the way you say I'm having is je prends. Bacon in French is le bacon. Butter in French is le beurre. A croissant, which is a croissant in the English language as well, which is a type of bread or roll, is le croissant. The word for eggs is les œufs. A grapefruit is un pamplemousse. The word for pepper, as in the pepper that you keep on the table to sprinkle on your food, is le poivre. And salt is le sel. And finally, what we know is toast, your Wonder Bread sliced up toast with maybe butter and jelly on it. They actually refer to in the same way. They say les toasts. Most French people, however, do not eat les toasts, and we'll talk in a moment about what they do for their version of toast. And it's not French toast before you think you know. So actually, we'll go ahead and get on to that right now. The way French people serve up what we would think of as toast in the morning is they actually start with the long French bread that's known as a baguette. We actually call it that in the English language as well. But the traditional word or the actual word for it is la baguette. And what they'll do to make their toast for breakfast is they'll actually take that baguette bread, that long French bread, and they'll slice it in half down the middle, and they'll spread their butter and jelly on that. So instead of actually using, your typical sandwich bread that's already been pre-sliced and everything like most of us do for our toast, they use that long French bread and they cut that down the middle, not in slices, but down the middle, and they spread butter and jelly on that. They call that la tartine. So it's just basically their version of toast, and instead of using traditional sliced bread, they use the long French baguette bread. A banana is une banane. Cereal is les céréales. And jelly or jam is la confiture. Moving on to some of the drinks. First of all, the way you say I'm thirsty is j'ai soif. And if you wanted to explain to somebody that you are drinking a certain drink, you would say je bois, followed by whatever you're actually drinking. Here are some options for breakfast drinks. Le café is coffee, but if you have coffee with milk, they'll refer to it as le café au lait. The word for hot chocolate is le chocolat chaud. The word for orange juice is le jus d'orange. Apple juice is le jus de pomme. And milk is le lait. So now we're moving on to those table setting words. On the masculine side, we have the words for some of the things that you would set the table or use to put your food in or eat your food with, including a bowl, which is le bol. A knife, which is le couteau. And a glass is le verre. On the feminine side, we have a spoon, which is la cuillère. a fork, which is la fourchette, tablecloth, which is la nappe, napkin, which is la serviette, a cup, which is la tasse, and finally a plate, which is l'assiette.